Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Doc Live. I love the fact that we have people joining us. I see names of people that I'm familiar of all around the world. So I'm so excited to have everybody here on Doc Live, being able to plug in. And I hope that you are sharing this with people. The thing that makes us the happiest is when we see new names, because that means that what we're doing is actually making an impact. And we do this for a purpose. And that purpose is to get more information out that allows people to be empowered in so many different areas of health. And we're so excited to have you all here with us on Doc Live. Now, this program is being sponsored by AskDocLive.com. But if you were invited here by somebody specific, make sure that you get back with them if you have any questions about product, or if you want to get started on any of the product that you hear us talk about today. Because, you know, a lot of people will ask me, well, how can you do network marketing? Because network marketing from the past has gotten a little bit of a negative name to it. Well, I'll tell you what, when you try something that works and you have a business with a purpose of helping people, no matter what that purpose is, as far as the specific reason why you want to help people, but when you find something that works, aren't you going to add it to your toolbox of resources to be able to share and help people? That was something that one of my coaches shared with me the other day. Somebody was giving him a hard time about what he was doing and as far as his coaching business. And he's like, you know what, dude? I have tried many different products, many different companies, and this is the only one that worked. And I can say that myself as well. So I hope that everybody really pays attention, because this information that's going to be shared today can be life-changing and empowering in helping people get past the things that they're struggling with, whether it's financially, mentally, emotionally, or physically. I kind of got those words a little bit twisted. But again, looks like everybody that was in the waiting room now is in. We want to welcome you to Ask Doc Live. If you are on live with us and you would like to ask Dr. Wallach a question, I will go through and call on people based on the order that their hand is raised. I also have emails that are coming in from AskDocLive.com, contact us, and also through our newsletter with criticalhealthnews.com. So we will be going back and forth. You can put them in the chat, but we would really appreciate it if you raised your hand, because if you have a question, Dr. Wallach wants to see you. We want to make this personal. We want to make this so that it is most relatable for you and everybody else that's watching with us. Now, there is no solicitation in our chat. There is a chat open for our Zoom. You can find that by going to your Zoom menu and clicking on chat, which is also where you're going to find your raise hand option, but there's no solicitation. Our amazing co-hosts, Nasima Omar and Ruth Ellen Sanchez and John T. McCollier, will be sharing information in this chat that will help you get like the correct spellings of products and helpful information that you can use in your own health to be able to make improvements and wise choices. But the content of this program is not intended to replace your primary care physician. And because of our food around the world just not having the nutrition that we need to not just survive but thrive, supplementation is required. But this program is not meant to treat, prevent, cure, or diagnose any condition. The FDA does require us to let you know that, again, this is not meant to take the place of your primary care physician. But when you get on a supplement program that really works, you will want to work with your primary care physician, because especially if you are on pharmaceuticals, your cells are going to get healthier and healthier and healthier and be absorbing better, where you're not going to need as much of the pharmaceuticals, if at all, of what you are taking. Now, this program is based on the research that is done by our good doctor, who is one of the co-founders of the science of epigenetics. Epigenetics is where your environment, your choices impacts how your genes are expressed and how your body responds to the toxins that's being thrown at it all day long. We want to make sure that we just take out all the toxins that we possibly can. That includes the food. Our food is null and void of nutrition. It's full of chemicals. It's full of things that are destroying our body. So let's take a wise look at what we're eating. And to help us look at what is going to make the biggest impact and improve our health, we have the one and only, no one else compares, Dr. Joel Wallach. Dr. Wallach, welcome to Ask Doc Live.
Well, thank you, Rebecca, and thank you, team. Just always a great Friday morning. I appreciate being with you and all the great things you do for the world. Thank you so much. And a lot of good.
You, Dr. Wallach.
Well, thank you so much. Is that Ruth Ellen in the background there?
No, that was
okay.
me. That was Rebecca.
Well, that was Rebecca. Okay. So at any rate, I want to move forward here. All the allocations are good, but we need to move forward. And so I want to remind everybody, we do have an information number. It's toll free, 1-800-755-4656, that goes to Wellness Publications. And also we have our website, www.drjwallach.com. And then we have 3 ebooks now. We had one for a while, but we have 3 ebooks, and they're particularly important for our Canadian northern neighbors, because shipping one book across the border, shipping it there, the Canadians will charge the Canadian person who ordered the book $25 in taxes for one book. So we have these ebooks. So one is called Let's Play Doctor. Okay, so that was our original ebook. Now we have Dead Doctors Don't Lie, both in English and Spanish as an ebook. So there's 3 of them. Okay, 2 Dead Doctors Don't Lie, one in English, one in Spanish. The other one's Let's Play Doctor in ebooks. And then let's see here. We do have it's very interesting stuff. The longest living person in America, okay, was Jean Calment. She was born in 1875. She died in 1947 at 122 years and 164 days, 122 and a half years of age. Okay. And the Hunses, of course, their average lifespan is like 130. The longest lived ones lived to be 160 and so forth. They live between Pakistan and China. And the Western world doesn't pay attention to them because they have a very restricted diet. They don't eat all the wheat, brother rye oats that we do and that kind of stuff. That's one of the reasons why they live so long, because they have a lot of minerals from the Gilgit Glacier grinding up the walls of the canyon it goes through. And then we have a couple of new CDs, Dr. Wallach's Corpus, okay, Dr. Wallach's Corpus, and that's a CD. And it goes into some of the big projects I was involved in and how they impacted science in the world. And then another one is epigenetics. It goes along with the book Epigenetics. That replaces the science of genetics. So you really want to get a hold of that CDC, or CD, excuse me, CD. And then Red Warning Lights. That's pharmacist Keith Abel and myself. There's 9 different diseases. And we made a list of all the sort of warnings you get for 2 or 3 years before you actually get a diagnosis of that disease, and how you can supplement properly and get rid of those pre-existing conditions, and you never get the disease, okay? And then we have stuff coming out. One's called The Truth About Nutrition, okay? It's a CD, DVD, and a book set. The set is 39 bucks for the set, but you can buy them individually. You can buy the book, you can buy the CD, you can buy the DVD. Again, 1-800-755-4656 and www.drjwallach.com. And I want to talk about our immune system today. And everybody likes to talk about probiotics and that kind of stuff. But I want to talk about our immune system because the pandemic is still here. It's not over with yet. And so we have to pay attention. And I just want to give one, instead of giving a whole litany of numbers, I'm just going to give you one set here. In the USA, this is as of yesterday. There was in the USA we have let's see here, it's 80,770,604 infections. We have 981,979 dead. And so we're going up at about 1,000 to 1,500 to 2,000 dead per day in America. So it won't be long. We'll be at 1 million dead from this pandemic. Then in the world, we passed over 446 million infections and 6 million dead. They just went over yesterday over 6 million. Finally, went over 6 million dead. Okay, so we're like 1/6 of the world's dead. 1/6 of the world's dead is in the United States. So it's very, very important. And in India, 1.3 billion people, they have 42,924,000 infections and 513,000 dead. China with 1.4 billion people, they're claiming only 109,326 infections and only 4,600 dead. Now, I don't know if that's true or not, but everybody's accepting that. Japan with 125 million people, they're about 1/3 of our population. Japan, they have 4,950,000 infections and 23,000 dead. So that kind of gives you, kind of a pulse of what's going on in the world when it comes to those kinds of things. Now, what I want to do now is go over what's going to help you with these pandemics. Now, you have to appreciate that we have a brain, we have a heart, we have lungs, we have intestines, we have liver, and everybody thinks those are the most important things in your life. Well, they're amongst the most important things, but instead of probiotics, I'd rather have you remember your bone marrow. Remember, we have red blood cells are made there with the hemoglobin. It carries oxygen to all your tissues, and also it carries the carbon dioxide away from the tissues back to the lungs, the hemoglobin, the red blood cells. And then we have the platelets are formed in the bone marrow. They prevent you from bleeding to death if you just scratch yourself. If you don't have platelets, just from a simple scratch, you can bleed to death. Okay. Now the white blood cells, these guys are the workaholics. Macrophages, okay, these are white blood cells that are made in the bone marrow, and they have amoeboid-like movement. They go out of the tissues and in between the cells and so forth, and go and they eat bacteria and virus and fungus and yeast. They phagocytize them. They eat them. Okay. And then we have the dendritic cells. Okay. And these dendritic white blood cells produce antigens to help protect you against, again, viruses, bacteria, fungus, and yeast. And then we have the granulocytes. Okay. And they actually or leukocytes or white blood cells, okay, that actually go again between cells and in through the blood system to go kill and eat bugs. And we have the monocytes, okay, and these monocytes, they break down bacteria, they break them down, okay, and they really work hard to kill and eat the bacteria monocytes. And then we have the beta lymphocytes, and they create antibodies, which again kill and eat viruses, bacteria, fungus, and yeast. Okay, they migrate around. They move like these little simple little animals and things like that, but they're just B lymphocytes. And we have the neutrophils. These are the most common, and these are the ones that most people know about, the neutrophils. Okay, and they kill eat and digest bacteria, viruses, and fungus, and even some parasites, some small parasites, they are worms or one-cell parasites. And then we have the basophils. They also deal with the one-cell parasites and so forth, and bacteria and viruses and fungus, the basocells, and basophils, excuse me. And the eosinophils, they are particularly white blood cells that work against allergies, parasites, and cancer. And so this is what you have to feed your bone marrow for, so they can make, the bone marrow can make all these cells, everything from red blood cells and Lucas, or things like the white blood cells, but also the platelets, very, very important. And people forget about that. You have to remember and love your bone marrow. You don't see it, and that's why people don't pay much attention to it. Okay, just doing white blood cell count isn't good enough. All right, and so I want to talk about a little bit about the world here. We do have things going on. And there's some stories I'd like to tell, but I tell it so much, I'm not going to tell them today. But I do want to remind people that we do have information. Again, you can go to our website, www.drjwallach.com, or you can go to our toll-free number, 1-800-755-4656, and get a hold of our CDs and DVDs, that kind of stuff, and learn about this and share this information with people you love. The health crisis in the church, that CD, it's a 2 CD set flying off the shelves, health crisis in the church. And this was 2 soundtracks off of Zooms that we did in Texas in the beginning of the pandemic. And then, praise the Lord, and past the 90, this is about Pastor Mike Freeman, who is dying from Baltimore, Maryland. He was in a hospital in a coma for 6 months. And the doctor said, well, he's only got a couple of days or a week or so left to live. And Miss Linda Tyler from up there, you know her, Miss Linda Tyler, she calls me and says, is there anything we can do for Pastor Mike? And I says, well, does he have a G2? We can give him some supplements? No. Okay, let's just take our plant minerals, just take the plain plant unflavored minerals, not the cherry minerals because it's too sticky, but just the plain plant minerals, plant-derived minerals, and take a couple of cupfuls on his chest and belly and his upper back and lower back 3 or 4 times a day and rub them in, and he'll absorb some of that. Well, in 3 days, he wakes up, shaves, goes back to work at the church, and he's in the TV studio and the radio studio telling the world about his personal experience with the minerals and how it saved his life, okay, from the pandemic. And then, of course, we have the red warning lights, as I said, from pharmacist Keith and myself. And then we have Dr. Wallach's laws of photosynthetic disruption and global warming. This goes into, again, a Zoom that I did at the beginning of the pandemic with pharmacist Keith. And we were talking about how the immune systems and communities sort of go bad. The immune system and the entire communities go bad. And that's why you have pandemics. And so all this story is in this CD. Okay, Dr. Wallach's laws of, let's see here, of photosynthetic disruption and global warming. So I urge you to do that. Remember, exercise without supplementation is suicide, and the dead, let's see here, exercise without supplementation is suicide, and dead athletes don't lie. But exercise is supposed to be good for. I don't supplement, I exercise. Well, that's why you're going to die early, because you're sweating out whatever nutrients you might get from your food. And people forget, they forget that nutritional minerals do not occur in a uniform blanket around the crust of the earth. They occur in veins like gold and silver. And you can be eating the same recipe that your brother, your cousin, or your best friend from college is eating from, and they're 4 or 5 states away, and they're doing very well just eating the food, not supplementing. You eat that same recipe, and 2 years later, you're dead. Why is that? Well, because again, nutritional minerals do not occur in a uniform blanket around the crust of the earth. They occur in veins like gold and silver. And some people are blessed with a lot of minerals where they live. And some people have modest amounts of them. And some people have very little. Okay, it's just the nature of the beast, if you will. And so we do have to pay attention to those things. And so if we take care of our immune system, it will take care of us. And this is a thing that goes on forever. So you need to teach your kids this. So if they move away, they still have to take all these supplements when they move away from the house they grew up in. They can't say, well, okay, well, now I'm a big boy now. I don't have to take those things like I did when I was a kid. Oh, yeah, you do. And, you know, I'm 83 and I've been taking the supplements. In June, it'll be 76 years. Okay. And I don't have any high blood pressure. I don't have any diabetes. I don't have any arthritis. I don't have any lung disease of any kind. I don't have any liver disease of any kind. I've never had any surgery. And I only have one tooth gone that was knocked out in a fight. 3 guys in a mall tried to take my packages, and we had a little bit of a fist fight. They came out the worst for it. I only lost one tooth. They lost them all. Not too bad for an old man. And so the point that I'm getting at is, if you give your body what it needs, and it's better to have a little bit more than a little bit less. Okay. So with that, I'm going to pass that over to you, and you can ask me any questions you want.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Dr. Wallach. Now I have a question. Let's go to the good foods, bad foods list.
Okay.
Okay. So I've had a few questions this week in regards to some of the things that are on good foods, bad foods. One of them has to do with beans. Now they want to know specifically what kind of beans. Are we talking like the hard dried beans that you rehydrate and cook, or are we talking about green beans?
Okay, we're talking about the dry hard beans. Okay, they have uric acid in them, very similar to the uric acid that's in seafood, you know, like shrimp and oysters and clams and things. And people get all kinds of stuff going on. They get gouty joints and stuff like that, and pain when they eat things that have uric acid in them. Okay, and so there's some beans. Now, green beans are, you know, in a totally different class. Okay, they don't fall into those classes. Okay, and so you just need to stay on the path of what the majority of people are eating. Believe me, the majority of people in America are not eating shellfish. Okay, the majority of the people in the world who eat shellfish are islanders and things like that. They eat the most shellfish, and they have the most gout because they're getting the most uric acid.
Now, how about lectins?
Okay, well, have you ever heard of a guy by the name of Dr. Steve Gundry?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now Dr. Steve Gundry is a medical doctor. He's a heart surgeon, a legendary heart surgeon, very, very well known professor and head of the department at some big university. I forget which one it was, but it was some big university like Clemson or something like that. And suddenly he discovers lectins, and he quits being a surgeon, and he's running around lecturing how lectins are bad for you. Well, what about gluten? No, gluten's okay. Gluten's not a problem, because he's in love with lectins. All he talks about is lectins. We have to appreciate, when you look at lectins, it's not just one type of vegetable or bean or whatever it is. It is, in fact, a whole category. And the biggest category in the lectin class is gluten. Okay. And so let's say there's 100 sources of lectins, 80% of them are glutens.
And we're going to stay away from glutens, right?
We have to stay away from gluten, which, if you stay away from gluten, the odds are you're staying away from lectins. And so gluten will cut your life significantly. We in America, our average lifespan up until the pandemic was 79, and we're beating our chest saying, hey, we live to be 79. The Japanese live to be 84. And then 6 months into the pandemic, our average lifespan in America dropped to 75. Now, you haven't seen it here lately in the last year, because I'm sure it's dropped even lower. It's probably down around 72 is our average lifespan now. Okay, because of glutens. Now, well, why does gluten have anything to do with the pandemic? Well, when you eat gluten, it kills those villi, those little finger-like projections in your intestines. Your intestine, when you cut them open during surgery or during an autopsy, an intestine of a mammal, whether it's a whale or a human being, or an elephant or a human being, or a giraffe or a human being, or a dog or a human being, or a cow or a human being, your intestines should look like a shag rug, all that surface area. But just 6 months to a year on gluten of any type, wheat, rye, or oats, suddenly now your intestines look like a plastic tube and you've lost 98% of your absorbent surface. Even if you supplement, you can't absorb enough to be of use. And so this is why we see so many kids by the time they're 4, 5, 6 years old, they're getting asthma. They get gastroparesis, which we're going to talk about in a little bit, I'm assuming. Okay. And then they get all kinds of joint problems. They get muscular dystrophy. They get asthma. They get heart issues. They get ringing in the ears. They get osteoporosis of the skull. They get dental problems. They go to an orthodontist by the time they're 10 or 12 years old because their teeth are all falling out. Okay. And that's because they have osteoporosis of the skull. Now, osteoporosis is not an aging thing. It's a nutritional deficiency thing. And gluten consumption and the lack of supplementation are the two things that will cause all these issues. Does that help you out?
That does help me out. And I was hoping to be able to share this picture, Dr. Wallach, but it's not letting me have the option. That's a bummer, because it shows a picture, and this is a picture that comes from one of your presentations that is a slide, side-by-side slides of what the villi inside the intestines look like. So I'm going to send this over to Jonty and see if Jonty can figure out how to get this up and share it. He's the master at all this digital stuff. So we're going to appreciate him and use his.
Yeah, it's very dramatic when you look at it, the before and after.
Yeah, it's definitely dramatic. So as I'm getting that over to him and we're getting that so that it's visible so people can get that picture in their head of what damage gluten really does to the intestines. I think when people understand, they're more readily accepting of being able to make major changes like this, Dr. Wallach. Not just say, you can't have this, can't have this, can't have this. Well, this is why we're saying you don't want this.
Yeah, well, a lot of people will say to me, Rebecca, that, well, my grandmother lived to be 100 years old and she ate oatmeal for breakfast every morning. Yeah, but your grandmother had something you don't have. She had a wood stove. What's that got to do with it? Well, wood ashes. And she's putting wood ashes in her garden, eating vegetables with wood ash minerals in there. Wood ashes are only 2% carbon, okay, and 90% minerals. And then she would put them in our food for breakfast. She'd put wood ashes in her food for breakfast and she'd put them in her mashed potatoes and soup for dinner time. The wood ashes, we're getting our minerals that way. And do you put wood ashes in your food every morning and every evening? Well, no, I have an electric stove. Well, there you go. Can you take them out of your fireplace? And they laugh and they said, well, we have a fireplace, but we only run it for a couple of days, really cold days during the wintertime. Okay. Well, there you go. That's why you're having a problem, because grandma 100 years ago was getting all those wood ash minerals in her food. Okay. And in the gardens, and thus in the minerals, in the vegetables she's growing in the gardens. And so these are things where people forget what was going on 100 years ago. It's totally different than it is now. And so you could get away with having a little bit of gluten, but grandma may have died at 75 instead of living to be 100. Okay, she could have lived to be 100. She gave up 25 years of her life to have oatmeal for breakfast three mornings a week.
Well, I am excited for the future, Dr. Wallach. I used to not be. I used to dread getting old because I hurt so bad when I was young. It's like, what am I going to do getting old and hurting even worse than I do? So I think it's absolutely fabulous that what you have done, Dr. Wallach, you have created this crusade, you have led this crusade that has empowered people to be able to take control of their own health and choose the direction that they want to take. I mean,
yeah,
I was
you can
not
add
happy
25.
with
You can add 25 to 50 years to your life.
Yeah. Well, and I'm excited about it because I want those 25 to 50 years. I'm going for 50 because I'm going to beat that average.
Let's go for it.
Let's go for it. Well, as we're going for it, Dr. Wallach, I just want to remind everybody here, you are watching Ask Doc Live, and it's sponsored by AskDocLive.com. My name is Rebecca Dukes Kozak. I am going to be your host for the next hour and a half that we have remaining. And on this program, we are delivering information that provides hope and empowerment of what you can do to make those changes. And through supplementation, because our food is null and void of the nutrients and minerals that we need. Now, if somebody provided you this link, shared this program with you, make sure you get back with them with any questions or the desire to order any of the products that we're going to be talking about today, because they cared enough to share this information with you. Say thank you to them by getting back with them and saying, hey, I appreciate you sharing this information. I want more information about whatever it is that is your health concern and what you need to do in order to make changes to help address those concerns. So Dr. Wallach, we are going to be going to the hands that are up now. And
Okay.
the first one that we're going to go to, that's Ruth Ellen. So Ruth Ellen has a question. Ruth Ellen, go ahead and unmute yourself. You got it, sister. You're on live with Dr. Wallach.
Good morning, Dr. Wallach.
Good morning, Ruth Ellen.
I have a client and a friend who has gastroparesis, and she has ulcers as well. And she recently went to the doctor because she has had severe stomach problems, and her pain level is like a 10 when she eats food, and it doesn't matter what it is sometimes. She is gluten-free. She doesn't completely follow the no oils and different things. She eats a few fried foods and stuff, but we've had talks about that. So I don't know if she changed that because of the cross-contamination. But her doctor had to remove a lot of bile out of her stomach in order to even look at the lining of her stomach, which had red lines on it. And I was curious to what causes the overabundance of bile in her stomach, and what could she possibly do, because she's on like 10 different medications.
Well, we're going to fix her up where she'll be off all her medications. How old is she? What does she weigh?
She is 30 years old and she weighs about 135 pounds and she's 5'9".
Okay. Now, she has a very common story. Okay. She thinks she's the only one with this, but she has a very common story. Gastroparesis is a very particular type of stomach issue, which doctors oftentimes mistake as being an ulcer. And that's why they want to go down there and look, because it's tremendously painful. And it's caused by one thing. Gastroparesis is caused by a single thing. It's caused by osteoporosis of the skull, squeezing the 10th cranial nerve. And the 10th cranial nerve starts in the skull, goes down through the chest and deals with the heart. And if it's being squeezed, you can get atrial fibrillation and all that kind of stuff. You get hiccups, and then when the recurrent branch of that nerve is damaged and so on. But the nerve continues down through the diaphragm, down to the stomach. Extremely painful. And doctors say, oh, you have gastric ulcers. Let's, have you drink this thing and we'll have a look and see about your ulcers, because it's so painful. They can't find anything. So, well, we need to put the tube down and look around in there. And they find some bile and some blood and stuff like that in there. What's going on? No ulcers. Okay. But still the pain. It's gastroparesis. Well, that's because that nerve is being squeezed by osteoporosis in the skull. Now, the reason why she has so much bile in her stomach is the muscles in the intestines are squeezing both directions. And so the bile, which is a normal thing going down in the intestines, is being squeezed up into the stomach. Okay. It's coming up from the intestines up into the stomach because the intestines are working overtime to try and to fix things. Okay. And so she needs to get rid of all the bad foods out of her life. I don't believe her when she says she's gluten-free. She may be cooking pancakes and waffles and oatmeal for her husband. She's not eating it herself, but she's getting cross-contaminated in the food preparation surfaces and in the bed, in the washer and dryer and all that kind of stuff. Got it?
Yes.
So some people say, well, I'm not eating any gluten, but do you cook for somebody? Well, yeah. Okay, well, there you go. And there's all kinds of ways to get gluten. other
Right,
than
and
just
let-
eating it.
Let's not forget that if you live with somebody and you're romantically involved and you kiss them and you intimately kiss them, if they have
Gluten alert.
gluten in their teeth, then you're going to get glutened.
Or their
Trust
sweat.
me, personal experience here. My husband eats gluten and I can't kiss him at all.
There you go. Okay, Ralphie. Okay. And so at 135 pounds, she needs to get rid of all the bad foods. That means in the house, not just from her own consumption, but in the house. No
Mhm.
fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no glutens, no wheat, butter, rye, and oats, no sugar, no carbonated drinks. And the husband and the kids can't be eating those things from drive-throughs in the car, because then she gets in the car and she's cross-contaminated in the car. Okay. And then at 135 pounds, I want her to have one healthy brain and heart pack per month. I want her to take another bottle of our selenium, so you can take 3 of those twice a day. That's going to help her liver. Okay. And not Walgreens selenium, our selenium, because it has 5 cofactors we've added to it. Very important. Then I want her to have the MSM, and she can take 3 of those twice a day. That's 1 bottle a month. That's going to support and promote connective tissue, arteries, veins, have connective tissue. The stomach has connective tissue in it. The diaphragm has connective tissue, and so on. The gallbladder has connective tissue. Then she needs the ultimate enzymes. She needs 3 ultimate enzymes, say 5 or 10 minutes for each meal with a couple ounces of water. So she's going to go through 2 bottles or ultimate enzymes. We call it the gallbladder in a bottle. She'll go through 2 or 3 of those bottles a month to pull this off. Okay. And then I want her to have the collagen peptides. She can get 1 of those canisters per month and put a scoop of that in her drink in the morning and a scoop of the collagen peptides in her drink in the afternoon. Again, that's for connective tissue, but particularly to help rebuild the skull, because it has the connective tissue and cartilage from fish, poultry, sheep, and beef. It's going to help her rebuild her skull. The reason why she has all this problem is, again, her skull is squeezing that 10th cranial nerve. And if you ask her, do you ever have bouts of hiccups? Have you lost your sense of smell? Did you ever have Bell's palsy? Did you have trigeminal neuralgia? And certainly she's going to have 3 or 4 of those 12 issues, okay, that occur in the brain when you have osteoporosis of the skull. Okay, but she's taking painkillers and this and the other, so she thinks everything's under control. She's not bringing those things up. You need to ask those questions, okay?
She does not take pain medication.
Well, but I'm answering the question for 1 million people listening out there.
This
right?
is true. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Please continue.
Okay. And so, yeah, usually doctors will give them all kinds of stuff to take orally for the stomach, for the gallbladder, for pain. And again, it's not unusual for them to have joint problems in their knees and so forth. They get bouts of hiccups because, again, that recurrent branch of that 10th cranial nerve gets squeezed and causing hiccups because it innervates the diaphragm, and the diaphragm doesn't like when that nerve gets squeezed. And but it's reversible very quickly. All this goes away very quickly. And well, how long do I have to stay on this regimen? Well, for the rest of your life. Okay. If you want to give up 25 to 50 healthy years of your life, when you feel better, go right back to all the bad stuff, and you'll give up all that good stuff. Okay. You got to stay on this program, this program and the supplements and the diet forever. Okay.
Yes, thank you.
You're very welcome.
I have one more question, and I don't have a lot of information about this person. They recently had a lot of polyps removed from their intestines. They're about 57 years old. I'm going to say he's like 5'6", and I guarantee he's not gluten-free. I'm going to be meeting with him soon, but I was just curious if when you have something like that done, how long does it take the intestines to heal from having the polyps removed? Because ever since he's had that surgery, he has severe gas, like nonstop.
Okay. Well, again, you have
24/7.
to appreciate that removing the polyps doesn't get rid of the problem. Let's say you have arthritis and most of your pain is in your knees because you're going up and down stairs a lot carrying stuff. So you get knee replacements. And within a couple of weeks or a month or so, you start getting pain in your hips, and then you get in your shoulders, and your neck, because you didn't really solve the problem with that procedure. Okay. And so when people have polyps, they get the polyps removed. It might help you with, be constipated because the doctor did an x-ray and said, oh, the reason why you're constipated is you got polyps blocking your flow of, bowel movement and all that kind of stuff. But see, that's not the issue. The issue is, why did he have the polyps? He had the polyps because of gluten.
Right.
Okay, I guarantee it's a gluten issue. And so this guy needs to get rid of all the gluten. No wheat, butter, rye, and oats. Let's see here. We don't have a weight for him, correct?
No, he's very thin. I can't
Okay.
imagine that he weighs more than 125 pounds, 130.
Okay, so something like, okay, a slim guy. Okay, and so he needs to get rid of all the bad foods: no fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no glutens, no wheat, butter, rye, and oats, no sugar, no carbonated drinks. Even the diet one's got to go because the carbonation neutralizes stomach acid. And at 130, 140 pounds, I'd go a little bit heavy here. I'd go with 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month. Also get the MSM, 2 bottles a month, so you can take 3 with each meal. And again, that's connective tissue, connective tissue, connective tissue in the gut as well as every place else. Then vitamin D3, 3 of those twice a day. Also, let's see here, the collagen peptides, a scoop of that in the morning drink, a scoop of that in the evening drink. And then the ultimate enzymes, you can go ahead and take 2 or 3 of those, say 5 or 10 minutes for each meal, a couple ounces of water. And again, got to be drop dead gluten-free, no fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no gluten, no carbonated drinks, no sugar. All that's got to go. Okay.
Thank you so much, Dr. Wallach.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate you very, very much.
Well, thank you so much for the kind words. And the main thing is, this guy is going to appreciate you for solving his problem.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Ruth Ellen. And everybody, are you ready to see this?
Yes.
You remember seeing that slide ever in your life, Dr. Wallach?
I don't see it yet.
All right, let me just go ahead and I will make it like spotlight. How about now?
There we go. Yeah. I put that in the book. Of course, on the left is a normal intestine. On the right is a gluten intestine. You've lost 90% of the absorptive surface. And sometimes there's polyps hanging onto that one on the right, and sometimes there's not. But this is very classic, very classic. And again, I put the picture in the book so that there's no doubt that, because people can't, if they've never seen an intestine opened up, they don't understand about those finger-like villi, which increase the surface area for absorption. And also a lot of mucus secretion to make a hard bowel movement go down through there easy and so forth. So there's a lot of uses for those villi. Okay. And so it's one of those things where when you eat gluten, they just shrink and go away. Can they come back? Yes.
I've always had the question on the slide on the right, and it has those gaps and openings rather than having them open to the inside of the intestines. What happens if like food or particles or something gets trapped in there? And
well, you get pain, you get an infection.
Inflammation?
That could cause an infection, can stimulate the production of a polyp.
So I've always had that question. I've always wanted to ask it. And so fabulous. I was wondering about that. Thank you so much, John T. You are awesome.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Thank you, John T.
Yeah. All right, wonderful. Well, let's go ahead and go to the next hand that is up. And that is Susan. Susan, go ahead. You are on live with Dr. Wallach. Oh, wait, let me let you have the option to unmute. Now try, my dear.
I got it. Thank you. First of all, I want to say thank you so much for everything I've been learning from you, Dr. Wallach. I'm happier and healthier at 77 than I've been in so long. I have energy all day long. I used to have to take long naps, but I don't. I go all day, and I want to thank you.
You look much younger than 77, so you're doing a good job.
I thank you. I feel so good, and I'm so grateful for you. I am sending this video to my granddaughter, and this question is about her. She's 15, almost 15, and she's an athlete. She's a gymnast, and she loves water polo and gymnastics. She wants to be teaching it. She's about, I think, 5'1", I'm guessing, about 100 pounds. And she has several problems, and she's very interested in science. And she asked me other day, what do I do? Because my hair is falling out in big clumps. Now, I questioned a health professional about this, and she said that one of the after effects of COVID is hair falling out, but it will come back if you take, she said, biotin and vitamin D and other supplements. And my granddaughter also has a retainer. She's had major dental problems. She does not, she eats gluten. So what would you recommend I tell her, or you tell her, because I'm going to send her this video. And I want to tell her.
Okay,
as
sure.
well.
Well, again, she's got to appreciate that everything she does impacts what happens. When you have hair falling out, your skin is having a nutritional deficiency issue. It's a skin problem, okay? And people eat funny when there's pandemics and there's all stuff going on. They're restricted in what they can get and so on. And so there's a little bit of that in there. Same thing with the teeth issues. So she got hair and teeth issues, which tells you that this is a nutritional problem, okay? And let's see here. At 100 pounds, I want her to give up all the bad foods, no fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no gluten, no wheat, butter, rye, and oats, no sugar, no carbonated drinks. Even the diet one's got to go. And all that alone will help her with her gymnastics, okay, as well as help her make her gums and her jaw. Just remember, her jaw is part of the skull. Well, she has osteoporosis of the skull. Babies are born with osteoporosis of the skull. Osteoporosis of the skull is not an age thing, it's a nutritional deficiency thing. She got osteoporosis of the skull. So she needs to take one healthy brain and heart pack per month, get another bottle of our Slim, so you can take 3 of those twice a day, a half a dose of everything else, a half a dose twice a day. She needs the MSM, 1 bottle a month, so you can take 3 of those twice a day to support and promote maintenance, repair, cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, disc between vertebrae, bone, makes the bone itself, including the skull, and also her skin and so forth. She needs the collagen peptides, a scoop of that in her morning drink, a scoop of that in her evening drink. She needs vitamin D3, 3 of those twice a day, 2 bottles a month. And then I want her to have the hair, skin, and nails. She can take 2 bottles of that a month, so you can take 3 of those twice a day. And that's going to help stimulate beautiful hair growth and so forth quicker than without it. And wouldn't hurt also, I want her, because she's having dental problems, I want her to have the collagen peptides. Okay, I want her to have, let's see, I talked about that already. Oh, I want her to have the Beyond OsteoFX. That's what I want her to have. I want her to get an extra bottle of Beyond OsteoFX. It comes in either powder, which you can, I get it in a powder, so I put a scoop in my morning drink and a scoop in my evening drink, but you can also get it in liquid. If you make your liquids as opposed to making it from powders, you can get the liquid Beyond OsteoFX, and she could take 2 ounces a day because she's an athlete. Okay. And so then if she has a little bit of gray hair or something, which is not unusual, even at 15 years of age, when they have these problems and malabsorption, the hair color will come back. But don't forget the hair, skin, and nails, 3 twice a day, 2 bottles a month. And give us a call every couple of weeks, because she's going to see benefit very rapidly.
I have a question about the kids, Toddy, and some of this stuff. I've sent them, my grandchildren, many of the products, and they wouldn't take the kind of adults stuff. And is the kids, Toddy, the kind for children, is that okay for her?
I would not for an athlete, but if she insists, on the back label, it tells you what the dosage is per pound of body weight.
Okay.
Okay. But
Great.
don't forget, she's going to need the MSM. She's going to need the cherry mins. She's going to need the collagen peptides. She's going to need the vitamin D3. She's still going to need all this other stuff.
Okay. Excellent. Well, thank you so much. And I really appreciate the picture of the intestines and the
Isn't that revealing?
She's really interested in biology and science, and she wanted to know how the body works and stuff. And I went, oh my goodness, she's got to listen to Dr. Wallach. So I'm sending her that. She'll love the picture. Thank you so much.
Okay,
Really.
thank you. Thank you.
Blessings. God bless. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Susan. Now, Dr. Wallach, Boss is on and he put up a question, so I'm glad that he just put up his hand. Boss, go ahead and unmute yourself and ask your question in regards to blood pressure medications, my friend. If you're able to come on with your camera, that would be awesome also.
Camera's not functioning.
Okay,
All
now,
right.
are you saying you're going by Boss, B-O-S-S?
Yes, I am.
Okay,
Okay,
yes, sir. How can we help you?
okay. 78 years old, 160 pounds, 5'10". I've had a stent 10 years ago, double bypass 2 years ago. I have been on your products for 4 years. I am trying to get off for atenolol, HDTC and losartan are the main things on. My problem was after I had the double bypass, my blood pressure became very high, which I monitor regularly. They doubled my doses of losartan up to 100 milligrams. I'm on 50 milligrams of atenolol, 12.5 of HCTZ.
Are you cured yet?
Say again?
Are you cured yet?
No, I'm still on the medication. I'm trying
Okay,
to get
wait,
off.
now, the point I'm making here is none of these pharmaceuticals cure anything. They just treat the symptoms. They don't get down to the basic root cause of the problem. Your doctor is milking your insurance policy like a dairy cow.
Understood.
Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So with all that said, because we have other people waiting in line. So with all that said, at 260 pounds at 5'10", I'd like to see you weigh
160 pounds.
Oh, I thought you said 260.
No, sir.
160 pounds. Okay. So that's much better. Okay. But at any rate, when you have stents put in, you have bypasses done, they've never really dealt with the basic root cause of the problem. They're just dealing with the symptoms. Okay. And so basically what you got to do is get rid of the problem. So at 160 pounds, I want you to get rid of all the bad foods. That means everybody in your household, dog, cat, bird, fish, spouse, kids, grandkids, caregivers, everybody's got to be drop dead. No fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no glutens, no wheat, no barley, rhinos, no sugar, no carbonated drinks. Even the diet one's got to go. And then at 160 pounds, I want you to have 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month. 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month, full dose of everything twice a day. I want you to have 2 bottles a month of our MSM. So you can take 3 at breakfast, 3 at lunch, 3 at dinner time. And they're designed to support and promote maintenance repair of cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, including the walls of arteries and the flaps for the heart valves and that kind of stuff, and arteries and veins and so on. And then I want you to get the collagen peptides, put a scoop of that in your morning drink and a scoop of that in your evening drink. Vitamin D3, 3 of those twice a day. That's 2 bottles a month. For the high blood pressure, I want you to take 2 bottles a month of our Ultimate Daily Classic tablets. Take 3 at breakfast, 3 at dinner time, and they will support and promote maintenance repair. Okay. They will support and promote healthy blood pressure and healthy blood flow through blocked arteries. Now, you cannot cold turkey off your blood pressure medication, but what you do is as your blood pressure slowly comes down into the normal range, you can slowly reduce medication based on the numbers, okay? And it won't take long. It'll take you anywhere from, let's say 4 weeks to 10 weeks to get off your medication for high blood pressure. How long do you have to stay on this program? Well, for the rest of your life. You're 78 years of age. If you want to live to be 100, you got to stay on this forever. If you don't mind dying next week, get off all the supplements, okay? It won't take long.
Understood.
Okay. All right. And so, yeah, you don't want to be just putting dirt in your car and saying, well, there's bound to be some oil in that. That dirt's from Texas. Okay. People don't do that to their car, but that's what they do to themselves when they just quote, eat well. My doctor said, just eat the 4 food groups and the 7 food group pyramid. I'll get everything I need. Any doctor who says that should be put in jail and their license is taken away. You cannot, because nutritional minerals do not occur in a uniform blanket around the crust of the earth. They occur in veins like gold and silver. And so to say just eat well, you can get everything you need, that's absolutely not true. Okay. But do call us every couple of weeks or so, because everybody's going to know whatever happened to boss. Okay.
10-4. Thanks, sir.
Okay. God bless.
All right. Thank you, boss. I appreciate you raising your hand. Let's go to, I think it's Janie or Johnny or Janie. go ahead and unmute yourself. You are on live with Dr. Wallach.
Hi, I'm Janny.
Yanni. Thank you,
Okay.
Janny.
It's like Annie with an A in front.
Okay. So how can we help you?
So I typed out all my stuff, but I guess it's a little long. I just want to tell you my background with I had cancerous tumor at the beginning of the ureter, and so the left kidney and ureter were removed, but the cancer went down to my bladder, and I had BCG, and after 2 years that went away, but it went to my lungs. Now they're in my lungs. So I tried Keytruda, which gave me a rash, and then I tried Opdivo, and that gave me a swollen carotid with a blood clot inside, so that had to stop. And the doctor wanted to go on to chemo, and I refused to. So actually, during 8 months of lockdown, I had only Chinese medicine. And so I stayed on Chinese medicine, which is herbal. And it kept me alive.
Mhm.
And I'm still alive. And
Okay.
so I'm still taking the Chinese medicine.
Okay, stop there.
Okay.
Stop there. Do you have any high blood pressure, or diabetes, or arthritis?
Arthritis, yes. Blood pressure, I have kind of low. It's usually
Okay.
100/50.
Okay, do you have any white, gray, or silver hair?
Oh yeah. See, my
Do you-
hair is mostly white now. Half white.
Okay. Okay, do you have any varicose veins or spider veins?
A little bit on my above my knees.
Okay. Have you ever heard of being a little bit pregnant?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so don't say a little bit. The answer is yes. Okay.
Okay. Yes.
Now, these are caused by nutritional deficiencies. That's why I'm asking those questions. They're giving me
Yeah.
very serious information about your nutritional deficiencies. How much do you weigh?
I'm 35.
Thank you.
130, 135. And I apologize. What's your age?
75.
75. Okay. All right. So the day you turn 75, you're still alive. You beat the average. Okay. That's not bad. So here we go. Got to get
Okay.
rid of all the bad stuff. No fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no glutens, no wheat, no butter, no sugar, no carbonated drinks. Even the diet one's got to go. And everybody in the household, including dog, cat, bird, fish, anybody else, any human being in the household have to be the same way. No fried food, no processed meats, no oils, no gluten, no wheat, butter, no sugar, etc. Then
May,
at
may I
135
interrupt?
pounds,
May I interrupt?
well, you did. Go ahead.
I live in a senior place, and so I eat in the dining hall, which has 200 people. So
Okay, stop. Do they have a corner of the
well,
food facility where people who have a gluten problem can go and isolate themselves?
no, but I can ask if they would provide you with.
Yeah, well, you need to do that, and otherwise, you might want to get a basket, put all your food in it, and take it to your room.
Yeah.
Okay,
and
don't be surrounded by people eating gluten.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I also drink sparkling water, which has
Don't
no
do that.
sugar. Not even sparkling water.
No, because it
The
neutralizes your
carbonation.
stomach. That's right. It neutralizes your stomach acid. Don't do that.
Hmm.
Okay. Now,
Okay.
let me finish. You need to get rid of all the bad foods. Then,
Sorry.
Okay. Then at 135 pounds, I want you to get one healthy brain and heart pack. Get another bottle of arsenalum, so you can take 3 of arsenalum twice a day. You'll be able to take a half a dose of everything else twice a day. Then I want you to take 2 bottles a month of our MSM, so you can take 3 with breakfast, 3 with lunch, 3 dinner time. And they're going to support and promote maintenance repair of cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, which includes arteries and skin and veins, blood vessels, of course, and lungs, and liver, bile ducts, and all that kind of stuff. Anything that's made from connective tissue, the valves in your heart, will all be benefited by that. Collagen peptides, put a scoop of that in your breakfast drink, put a scoop of that in your dinner drink. And then vitamin D3, 3 of those twice a day. even if you live in a sunny place, the odds are you don't get in a bikini and sit out in the sun for 4 hours every day. So take the vitamin D3, 3 of those twice a day. That's 2 bottles a month. And if you have pain, we have the CM cream you can apply. It's no drugs, no opioids or anything like that. You can take our CM cream and apply that to your joints, and it will give you about 2 to 3 hours of pain relief. And also, we have our hand sanitizer. You want to use that. Don't forget our colloidal silver. Put 2 droppers full under your tongue 30 minutes for each meal and 30 minutes before bedtime. That'll help you fend off the bad guys, okay, the viruses. In a facility of that nature, I guarantee you there's people in there that do have COVID. They're not saying it, but they got it, okay? So let's go there, and then call us every couple of weeks and let us know how it's going, because you're going to have a great story, okay?
Okay. Can I still ask questions? May I still ask?
Okay, okay, let's see here. Becca, do we have time for her to ask a couple more questions, or are we done?
Do you have a real quick question, my dear?
Yeah, I also have cramps, really bad cramps in my feet and legs.
Well,
at
that'll
night.
go away. Yeah, well, that's a back problem. When you lay down, that's a back problem. Okay, that's why I wanted you to take the MSM. Just because of your age, I knew you were going to have that sort of stuff at 75 years of age. Okay, so you have what we would call sciatica in a younger person. Okay, you have you have peripheral neuropathy in an old person. It's the same disease. It's all caused. How much have you shrunk in height since you were 20? Have you shrunk an inch or two?
I shrank an inch at least.
Yeah,
I
well, there you
haven't
go. So
measured.
somewhere, well, you need to measure yourself and have somebody measure you. Did you shrink an inch or 2 inches or 3 inches? Anyway, you shrunk. The vertebrae are getting closer together and smashing the roots of the nerves that control your feet and legs and so forth. That's why you're having those issues. Okay, so you need to deal with that too. All right. So we'll look forward to hearing from you every couple of weeks, because Janny, you're going to have a great story.
Thank you so much.
Okay,
Dr.
God
Wallach.
bless.
All right.
God
thank you.
bless.
Thank you, Janny. Now, everybody, it is time for a break. So go ahead and stand up and stretch. Thank you, Gretchen, showing us how to stretch. As we were going to go on a quick 5-minute break, go ahead and fill up your cups. Make sure you are staying hydrated. Add some minerals to that hydration. And we will be right back with Ask Doc Live, sponsored by AskDocLive.com. Hello again, and welcome back, everybody, from break. I hope you were able to get up and stretch. Make sure that you keep all those fluids, lymphatic fluids, and blood flowing through your body as it was designed. Making sure that you are hydrated will help with that. So many benefits to hydrating. And as Dr. Wallach mentioned with Janny, you want to make sure you are not including that carbonation, especially if it is with meals, as the ingredients that cause that carbonation neutralize the digestive fluids in the stomach, which then throws off the whole digestive process and making sure that that food gets broken down properly so that it moves through the digestive system. Whatever nutrition might be in there, we want to make sure that the food does get broken down, because that's what's going to make that nutrition bioavailable. Now, because our food just does not have the nutrition that we need, supplementation is so paramount for being able to maintain good health or achieve good health and not just survive, but thrive. So my name is Rebecca Kozak, and I am so excited to have so many of you here with us today. Please, if you are on with us live, make sure that you have part of your name showing, but you don't have to have your whole part of your name showing. And please, because this is a safe zone, there is to be no promotion in our chat. That includes in your name, in your profile name for Zoom. So if you have any type of self-promotion in your name, please go ahead and rename yourself so it's just your name. If you've been asked to do that and you have not responded, unfortunately, we will ask that, or our co-hosts will remove you from the program, because we want to make sure that people can feel safe at inviting people to our program to get information, and make sure everybody, if somebody sent you to this program, get back with the person that sent you to this program. If it was one of our emails, you can reply to that email. One of our certified holistic health coaches will get back with you and make sure that you are getting your questions answered with information that is specific to you and what's going to benefit you most. Dr. Wallach, welcome back. Let's go ahead and get on with our next questions. And in the chat, we have somebody that is asking about, oh, forgive me, I just lost it. Well, back to the gluten question. And with all grains having a protein in it that mimics gluten, whether it's called gluten or not, that includes oats and even corn. You want to expound on that a little bit, Dr. Wallach?
Okay, well, all grains have what you would call starches in them, okay? And there's the bigger category of lectins, which is Dr. Stephen Gundry talks about, okay? But they don't do the same damage as the glutens, okay? You can eat corn all you want, as long as it's not fried, okay? You're gonna get fat, but you're not gonna have the damage your intestines like when you eat oatmeal. They sell, quote, gluten-free, unquote, oatmeal in stores, but that's a lie. It's called gliadin in oats, okay? And so is soil the same as dirt? Yeah. Earth, dirt, soil. Okay, same way with gliadin, gluten, lectin, it's all the same. And so you have to say, okay, I love my oatmeal so much, I'm prepared to give up 50 years of my life. I'm going to eat my oatmeal. Okay, well, that's fine. You're doing it with intention. You know the consequences. You're prepared to pay the price. But somebody who's running out there thinking they're eating well because their doctor said, you know, eat your 4 food groups, your 7 food pyramid, including grains, and didn't warn you about glutens, then that doctor should have his license suspended and he should go to class. And if he keeps doing it, he should have his license taken away and put in jail. Okay, because this kills people. And so this is something that is very, very, what should I say, serious. It's not a joke, it's serious. I'm a pathologist and I see the results on the autopsy table. You do not want to meet me there, okay?
I know I don't. I like the way that I've met you. But that's not the ending or the last meeting that I hope to have with you, Dr. Wallach, is on
okay.
the kitty table.
There you go.
So here's a question, and it has to do with, or it's a comment that has to do with rice, where this individual, and I missed the name, I apologize, had gone grain-free, because, I mean, I know for a fact that there's many, like wheat and all of the grains that are grown around here, that birds really don't eat them. They like the bugs. They don't go so much for the grains, but it's kind of nature's way of protecting the plant, which she had mentioned, and thank you so much for that reminder. But she went a few days eating rice each day, and it caused some digestive pain all night long. Why would the rice cause digestive pain for somebody? Is my question.
Okay, well, if it was just straight rice, nothing else but rice, just steamed rice, okay, not fried and just steamed rice, it could be caused because here's somebody who eats gluten. Now they're getting this rice and the bugs are finding something they can jump on and break it down very quickly and ferment it, okay, and, you know, create acids and alcohols and stuff like that. And if you have any open wounds in your intestines because of gluten you've been eating, then it's going to burn and be painful. Okay. Now I want to go back to the beginning of your question here. you're talking about people eating rice like this. I want you to appreciate that when you compare the people who eat rice, AKA Asians, versus people who eat wheat, bran, rye, and oats, Europeans, the Europeans don't do very well. Okay, let's look at the Filipinos. They have 109 million people. Let's see here. They live like Asians primarily, although they do eat a lot of European stuff because of all the wars. They had the English and the Americans stand with them for quite a while. I spent a lot of time when I was in the Air Force in the Philippines. But they have 3.6 million infections currently and 55,000 dead. And let's look at the UK with England, Northern Ireland, and Scotland. They have 67 million people, about half the number of people the Filipinos have. And yet the people in the UK have 18.6 million infections and 160,000 dead. Okay.
It's a little bit of a difference.
It's a huge difference. And why is that? Well, because the Europeans are eating gluten and the Filipinos are eating primarily like Asians. Let's look at another one. Let's look at, let's see here. Let's look at Vietnam with 96 million people. They have 2.8, almost 3 million infections. They have 39,000.6, almost 40,000 dead at 96 million. And let's look at Germany with 83 million. Germany has 13.7 million infections versus 2 million. They have 122,000 dead versus 39,000 dead. Huge difference. Yet the Vietnamese have 10 million more people than the Germans have, yet the Germans have 13 million infections versus 2 million. They have, Vietnamese have 39,000 dead versus 122,000 dead in the Germans. Why is that? Well, the Germans, they eat and drink nothing but wheat, barley, rye, and oats. You got it? So you cannot absorb nutrition to support your immune system, your bone marrow, which we talked about earlier today. And so that's why they have a struggle. That's why, you know, I'll have to look up, it'll be fun. I'm going to go and I'm going to start looking up the average lifespans of all these countries. And we'll talk about that next week. And the average lifespans, I guarantee you, are much longer in the Asians than they are in the Europeans.
I look forward to listening to or hearing about those results of that little project, Dr. Wallach. Let's go to our next hand that is up, and Yosem, you go ahead and unmute yourself.
Yosem.
Oh, it's Jose. It's just my
Is it, see, I
yeah.
wasn't sure. I was going to say, is it Jose M or Yosem?
Yes.
You never know, but welcome to Ask Doc Live. You're on live with Dr. Wallach, Jose.
Thank you very much. I'm very grateful to be here.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Dr. Wallach. Yeah, just thank you for everything you do. I heard you first time about a year ago on George Norrie's show.
Oh yeah, George is great.
Yeah. Yeah, I just have a question. I've been dealing with a lot of weight issues. My whole life, I've been a big kid. I went on a gluten-free diet and I dropped 20 pounds in 2 weeks almost. But I think I hit that. I can't get any lower than that.
Sure. Okay, well,
know.
so let me interrupt here for a minute. How old are you?
I'm 29.
Okay, you're 29. And how much do you weigh?
258.
And how tall are you?
5'10".
Yeah, 5'10". I'd like to see you weigh maybe 180, 200 pounds. So you're about maybe 60, 70 pounds overweight. Okay. Any other issues? Any high blood pressure, diabetes, arthritis, back problems, knee problems?
Yes, I'm starting to have back problems, and I do have high blood pressure.
Okay. Did you play sports?
Yeah, my whole life I've played multiple sports.
Yeah, a guy your size, you'd be playing football and rugby and
Yeah,
field hockey and stuff like that, right?
Right. Football, basketball for sure.
Okay. So basically, we need you to get rid of all the bad foods. No fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no gluten, no wheat, no barley, rye, and oats. You've heard it several times already today. And see, if you've been listening to us for 2 years, you've heard it several times. And then I want you to get, we've discontinued the keto bars for weight loss because they don't, the manufacturers can't get the raw materials anymore, but we do have the bottles of it. We do have bottles of the keto shakes, okay? And I'd have you have 1 meal a day, a keto shake, okay? It's a meal replacer. It's not to add to a meal. It's a meal replacer. So the keto shake
Okay.
and a couple of rebound drinks, okay? You do that, a couple of rebound drinks and the keto shake. And then the other meals, I want you to eat like an Asian, eat rice and sweet potatoes and beans and squash. Okay, absolutely. They have gluten-free pizza. I have pizza 3 mornings every week, and I have pizza 2 or 3 nights a week, but it's made with gluten-free crust. And I put hamburger or steak or eggs or fish on top, fish, salmon fillets on top of the 4 cheeses and 10 vegetables on the gluten-free pizzas. And it's really nice. And so, the kids, the grandkids like it. They don't know it's gluten-free. They just know it's pizza. And so they don't think they're missing anything, right? But I have to teach them it's a very special, as good as grandpa's pizza. You can't go to Pizza Hut, okay? Because their crust will hurt you, okay? So you have to teach people these differences, okay?
Okay.
And then I want you to take, let's see here, 2 bottles a month of the MSM. You're going to take 3 of those with each meal. You're going to take two bottles a month of the, not 2 bottles, excuse me, 2 of the Healthy Brain and Heart Packs, 2 Healthy Brain and Heart Packs, a full dose of everything twice a day. Then I want you to take 2 bottles a month of the MSM. So you can take 3 at breakfast, 3 at lunch, 3 at dinner time. And they're going to support and promote maintenance repair of cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, disc between vertebrae, bone, makes your bone itself. And then I want you to take the collagen peptides, put a scoop of that in your morning drink and a scoop of that in your dinner drink. Vitamin D3, 3 of those twice a day. That's 2 bottles a month. And then for the high blood pressure, I want you to take 3 bottles a month because you weigh 258 right now. So I want you to start out with, and when you get down to 200 pounds, you can drop it, but right to 2. But right now I want you to do 3 of the healthy, let's see here, start pack. Okay. Did I say that right? Yeah. Oh, excuse me, Beyond Osteo. Is that right? The Healthy Start Pack. Yes.
Start pack.
Yeah, Healthy Start Pack. That's why I keep thinking that. Yeah, Healthy Start Pack. Take 3 of those 3 times a day. It'll be 3 bottles a month of the Healthy Start Pack.
Okay.
Is that right? Yeah. Okay. But I want you to do that.
I'm sorry, Beyond Osteo FX, I think you're talking of.
Yes, thank you.
And
Beyond
it comes in the Healthy Body, Brain and Heart Pack. And you wanted him to have 2, and are you thinking 1 extra bottle of Beyond Osteo?
Thank you, Nasima. Yeah. It's the Healthy Body Start Pack, is right. And
Yeah, the Beyond Osteo FX is in the Healthy Body Start Pack. Yes.
That's right, the Beyond Osteo FX. So I want you to take 3 times a day. So you'll be getting 1 each in those packs and get another bottle. So you can take 3 times a day. That's going to get your blood pressure down. Don't cold turkey off your medication, but as your blood pressure drops, you can slowly reduce your blood pressure medication. Okay. So you're going to have a great story. And so do give us a call every couple of weeks and keep track of your weight, because you're going to see you'll lose a half a pound to 2 pounds a day, and it'll be healthy weight loss. Okay.
Okay. I have one last question.
Sure.
I know you're a former athlete yourself. You used to wrestle,
Yes.
from what I heard before.
I wrestle, play football.
Okay. Yeah, I just have a question. So, about a year ago, I was watching a soccer game, and this healthy athlete named from a Danish football club, he just drops to the floor. He has a heart attack. But that always got my attention, how someone healthy, great, I'm sure they get nutrition and their Premier League clubs in England. And how does someone with that physique still have problems,
Okay. Well, this is called hypertrophic cardiomyopathy, heart disease. In America, each year, 500 to 1,000 young athletes die of that sudden heart attack, either during a practice or during a game. 500 to 1,000 each year in America alone. Okay. This is called hypertrophic cardiomyopathy, and it's caused by deficiency of a single nutrient, which you're going to get plenty of in this program we gave you. And when people say, well, why don't you tell me which one it is? Well, you read my books and things, you'll figure out which one it is. But if I tell you which one it is, you're going to run to the grocery store, you'll buy that one nutrient, you'll take it, and you're going to die. Okay, because I want you to take the
Okay.
whole program. That
Right.
way you're going to live. Okay.
Right.
Okay. So you can't just take that one nutrient. And so I learned that in the beginning. Say, well, why did Frankie die? So I called the family and said, well, what was Frankie doing? Well, he did exactly as you told him. I said, really? Was he taking everything? No, he just took that one nutrient. Well, that's why Frankie died. Okay.
Right.
And so I said, no, I'm not going to let that happen again.
Okay. Okay.
But that's a very good question. And so, but it's a very simple disease, and it was first discovered in turkeys of all things, because there was a big cash crop to raise turkeys. And they would get to a certain size, and the farmer would go out there one morning and be 10 of them dead, and he'd go out there the next day and 10 of them be dead, and go out there the next day and 10 of them be dead. They all had this cardiomyopathy heart disease. It's kind of like instant muscular dystrophy of the heart muscle caused by a deficiency of a certain nutrient. And so when we found it in turkeys and we started looking around, and oh, guess what? It's happening everywhere, because human beings are missing these nutrients too. And so that's when we began to come up with these programs. See how that worked? But turkeys gave us the clue. But that's we first found this problem in turkeys. Gosh, it was in the 1960s.
Okay. All right. Thanks for that. Thank you for that.
Well, thanks for asking the question, because again, I took a lot of supplements. I only weighed 110 pounds, but I played on the defensive line because I could get in and get the cornerback and get the running backs. I was very fast. And I wrestled 110 pounds, lettered every year in junior high and high school and college. So I was an athlete for 15 years.
Wow. Okay. You look great, for your age.
Not too bad
so,
for 83. Not too bad.
Yes,
I can
sir.
still kick butt. And so, a lot of these guys, when I go to shopping centers, they kind of eye me,
Yeah.
and say, hey, guys, come on. But I look forward to meeting you.
All right.
You sound like a very nice young man.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank
You
you for
bet.
what you do.
God bless.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Jose. And Dr. Wallach, Ultimate Daily Classic.
Yes.
I was
Well,
thinking,
and
okay, Dr. Wallach is like
and
always.
it has a purple label on the bottle.
Yeah, it's and you always are like right on with those. And I'm like going through, and I'm like, that's the first time I ever have had or experienced you hesitate on a product. But I think it was Ultimate Daily Classic you were looking at.
Yeah. Yes, you're exactly right. I think I probably need to eat something.
Probably. Well, let's go ahead and make sure if you are here and invited by somebody specific, get back with the person that invited you. If you were not invited by somebody specific and you found us on your own, you can go to askdoclive.com, use the contact us, and send us an email with your questions. We'll have one of our certified holistic health coaches get back with you. Or we have a call team that is standing by at 855-949-7234. I almost gave you the wrong number. But that's 855-949-7234. Now, Dr. Wallach, I just want to remind everybody that your most popular books can also be found on askdoclive.com. So for those of you who want to go that way, you're more than welcome to go that way. I love that, all of them are listed on the drjwallach.com. So I love options. Absolutely love options. Let's go to the next hand that is up, Dr. Wallach, and that is Gretchen. Gretchen, go ahead and unmute yourself, my dear. You are on live with Dr. Wallach.
Great, thank you. Hello,
Hi.
doctor. Hi, my name is Gretchen, and my issue is I'm always cold. I'm just a freeze baby, and I do eat a lot of fat, I believe. I only eat meat maybe once a week. I am pretty active. I have always been cold my whole life. I have to wear like a lot of wool sweaters and down jackets, and always, wear a stocking cap to sleep, and lots of blankets. And just wondering if you have any solution.
How old are you?
60.
Okay, and how much you weigh?
125.
Okay, And how tall are you?
5'6".
Okay, so about right. Okay. Any other issues, any high blood pressure, diabetes, arthritis, joint problems, back problems?
You know, I go through phases with joint and sciatica. Obviously, when I'm eating a lot of sugar, I am invited here from Susan Bostwick and I've gone through many, many phases of being healthy. But since talking with her, I'm on another new kick. And I did just order your basic pack, which will show up next week.
Mhm.
So basically, yes, I go through many joint issues and lower back sciatica. Again, I go through phases of eating a lot of sugar. Yes,
Mhm.
but
Well,
I'm not.
this is
yeah.
this is a behavior called pica, P-I-C-A. When you're deficient in particularly minerals, it's kind of like a horse. Have you ever heard of cribbing? Have you ever heard of a horse chewing on the fence?
Yes,
What
yes.
does cribbing tell you about that horse?
It's and the dogs that I walk to that something's wrong. They're hungry. Yes, yes.
They're missing minerals, and so
Right.
they're looking for them by eating the fence. Okay, it's
Got
called
it.
cribbing. In human beings, it's called pica, P-I-C-A, same principle. So instead of eating the fence, you eat more desserts or eat more snacks. That's when you're deficient in these nutrients, okay? So it's a clue. So at 125 pounds, once you get rid of all the bad stuff, no fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no gluten, no wheat, no barley, rye, no sugar, no carbonated drinks, even the diet ones got to go. And then at 125 pounds, I want you to take one healthy brain and heart pack per month, take a half a dose of everything twice a day except for the selenium. I want you to get another bottle of our selenium so you can take 3 of those twice a day, okay? And then I want you to take our MSM, get 2 bottles a month of our MSM so you can take 3 with breakfast, 3 with lunch, 3 dinner time. And they're going to support and promote maintenance and repair of cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, discs between the vertebrae, bone rakes, bone itself, artery walls, vein walls, skin, anything that heart valves, anything that has to do with connective tissue. Then I want you to take our collagen peptides, put a scoop of that in your morning drink and a scoop of that in your evening drink. I want you to take our vitamin D3, take 3 of those twice a day. That's 2 bottles a month. And then, let's see here, I think since you do have conscious awareness of joint problems and sciatica, I also want you to get our Beyond Osteo FX. You can take 2 doses of that. If you're going to get the capsules, you can take whatever you want. You can take 3 to 5 of those capsules twice a day. We do have it in the liquid form. You can take an ounce of that twice a day. It tastes very good. And that's going to help the connective tissue and the bones and the joints and the cartilage repair very quickly. Okay. And again, when you have all these nutrients, your liver works, your muscles work, all the mitochondria and all your tissues and cells work, so you won't be cold anymore.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Yeah, much appreciation.
Well, please call us every couple of weeks and give us a kind of a report as we go along here, because people are going to want to know whatever happened, okay, to that gal.
I'll let you know when I warm up. Thanks again.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, thank you so much, Gretchen. And from one that has experienced the relief of no longer having cold feet and no longer being cold all the time, it is amazing. Absolutely amazing. Get that circulation going.
Thanks for sharing.
Yeah. So next we have Mike with his hand up. Mike, go ahead and unmute yourself.
Hey, Doc, how you doing?
Okay, sir. How can we help you, Mike?
Okay, hey, I'm all good. Just wanted to let you know, I got off all my medications and I've been on the product for about a year now, and I'm healthy as a horse and I feel fantastic. But I have a client and he's very healthy and he's been on the products for 6 to 8 months. He's 5'2". He's 5'8". He's 52 years old and he's 180 pounds. He just had a physical and he doesn't take medications. He's in great shape, but he has tremors and it comes off and on where he'll shake his hands and his neck and his head will shake. And he doesn't drink coffee anymore. He quit drinking coffee because he thought that might've been doing it. And the doctor prescribed him prednisone, 25 milligrams, but he took it for a little while and said it didn't work. So he quit taking it. And I got him on the protocol. I'm dosing him with everything. And anyway, I just thought, what could be causing these tremors? And he's had them for about 3 or 4 years now, and they're getting worse. and he's retired.
Okay.
So
There's
he's-
several possibilities. If he's shrunk any, it could be squeezing some of the nerves in his spinal cord. He could have osteoporosis of the skull, squeezing the spinal cord as it's coming out of the back of the skull, okay, causing the tremors in his neck and his, down in his body and so forth.
Okay.
And so when I ask him, does he have any tinnitus or ringing in the ears? Does he have any balance problems that he has to deal with? Ask him, has he ever had trigeminal neuralgia? Has he ever had things like Bell's palsy? Is he slowly losing his vision? Does he have any tingling, numbness, pain in his fingers? And somebody saw you have carpal tunnel syndrome. It's really the skull squeezing the spinal cord. Okay, and so that's where those kind of things happen. And so make sure he's getting at least 180 pounds.
He's got trigger finger.
Oh, he does have trigger finger. Okay, yeah, his skull is
Yes.
squeezing. Yeah, the skull is squeezing his spinal cord.
Okay.
Okay, that's why he's getting all this. So he needs to make sure he's getting those collagen peptides, a scoop in his morning drink, a scoop in his evening drink. I want him also to have the MSM, 3 of those 3 times a day, be 2 bottles a month of the MSM, vitamin D3, 3 of those twice a day, 2 bottles a month. It wouldn't hurt for him to also have the Beyond Osteo FX. Let's mineralize that skull as quickly as possible. He has some loose teeth. It'll help tighten up his teeth. If he has receding gums, it'll help that also, because your jaw is part of your skull. So when you get osteoporosis of the skull, you're getting a lot of clues with dental problems and receding gums and bleeding gums and all that kind of stuff. It's not because you don't brush your teeth. It's because your skull is getting smaller and smaller. Okay.
Right. Right.
Okay. Okay. Keep us informed. Give us a call every couple of weeks and let us know how this guy's doing. Okay.
Yeah, I
And
will.
thank-
I've got him
and
taken.
Thank you.
I got him
Thank you for the
taken
testimony.
MSM. Yeah,
thank
thanks
you for the
very much,
testimony.
Doc. We
God bless you,
appreciate
sir.
you, man.
God bless you.
Thank you, Mike.
Uh-huh.
All right, Dr. Wallach,
Yes.
I have a couple questions from emails that have been written in.
Okay.
So Karen says that I'm looking for some help figuring out what to take to deal with these issues. Stomach cramps, non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, bile salt malabsorption that she was actually diagnosed with, osteopenia that she's taken quite a bit. Doesn't say what she's taken about quite a bit of. Snoring for the last 4 years. My snoring has become worse. So she is wanting to know, and she's been to the ears, nose, and throat. They've checked her adenoids, all those good things. So what would be causing stomach cramps, osteopenia, and snoring? And she does not give an age or weight. So let's do
Let's do by 100 pounds per 100 pounds. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, she's got osteoporosis of the skull. Okay. Squeezing, there's 12 pairs of cranial nerves, and the olfactory nerves are being squeezed. Okay, they not only deal with smell, but also other functions of the nasal passages and so forth, right? So that's why she's having all that. And of course, I'm sure her sinuses are getting, the openings of the sinuses are getting smaller because the skull is getting thicker with connective tissue because she got osteoporosis of the skull. That's why she's snoring. And let's see. She's got osteopenia, been diagnosed. She got stomach cramps. And so again, that goes back to gastropenia. Okay, gastropenia, because some people call them stomach cramps, some people call them ulcers, and some people call them osteopenia. Okay, they're again, excuse me, gastropenia. Okay, gastropenia. Okay, so she needs to get rid of all the bad foods, no fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no gluten, no wheat, brown rhinos, no sugar, no carbonated drinks, even the diet one's got to go. And then for 100 pounds of body weight, I want her to have 1 healthy brain and heart pack per month, 1 bottle a month of the MSM per 100 pounds of body weight. Take 3 of those twice a day per 100 pounds of body weight. It's a big bottle, you can do that. Needs the collagen peptides, a scoop of that with her breakfast drink and a scoop of that with her dinner drink. Vitamin D3, 3 of those twice a day. And then the Beyond Osteo FX, take 3 to 5 of those twice a day, capsules or an ounce of the liquid twice a day. And The first thing she'll notice, if there's anybody else sleeping in the room with her, you're noticing, you don't snore anymore. So that stuff may be working. Okay. So because as the skull is rebuilding itself, the passages into the sinuses open up, and so there's not air trying to get in and out of small openings. That's why the snoring goes away. And also the carpal tunnel syndrome and all that kind of stuff should go away very quickly, because it's the skull squeezing the spinal cord. Okay.
All right. Thank you so much for that. Next, Stan, 68-year-old black male, 5'11", 215 pounds. He has a question about prostate health, as he's about to start radiation treatment for the prostate. He wants to know what he can do to stay strong and healthy.
Okay. Well, if he doesn't have prostate cancer, radiation to the prostate is not a good option. Okay. And even if you have cancer, it's not a good option. But certainly if you don't have cancer, it's really, the doctor doesn't know what else to do, and he's got kids in college and he needs a tuition money. Okay. And so basically at 215 pounds, he needs to get rid of all the bad stuff. No fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no gluten, no wheat, bran, rhinos, no sugar, no carbonated drinks. No sugar, no carbonated drinks. Even the diet one's got to go. And then at 215 pounds, I want to have 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month, full dose of everything twice a day, 2 bottles of MSM, so you can take 3 at breakfast, 3 at lunch, 3 at dinner time. And then I want him to have the collagen peptides, a scoop of that in his breakfast drink and a scoop of that in his dinner drink. He needs also, let's see here, I'd go with some anti-inflammatory stuff. Okay. And that would be like the, I would go, huh?
Cell Shield RTQ for anti-inflammatory?
Well, there you go. That's a good start. Cell Shield RTQ. Okay, let's do that. That's one of my favorites, Cell Shield RTQ. Go ahead and take 2 doses a day of that. And let's start there. If there's pain in any of the joints or back, they use a CM cream topically. And if this is really deep pain, also add the trauma oil from our aromatherapy oil division.
All right.
Okay.
All right, perfect. Thank you so much, Dr. Wallach. And now the next question has to do with oxalates. So this individual says that she has been taking turmeric for a long amount of time, just started on our supplements. And then when she added in sweeties with cinnamon, she believes that the cinnamon created too much oxalates accumulating in her kidneys, causing kidney stones. Share with me a little, or share with all of us, Dr. Wallach, kidney stones. What causes them, and what can we do to avoid them or get rid of them?
Okay. Kidney stones are caused by osteoporosis, too little calcium. And so your body pulls the calcium out of your bones, and it actually pulls the calcium out of your bones. When it pulls the calcium out of your bones, it overreacts and pulls too much calcium out of the bones, and it participates in the kidneys as kidney stones. Okay. Whoever told her it was caused by oxalates is giving misinformation, because they don't understand what's going on there. Okay. When you have low blood calcium and you're not supplementing, your body, your parathyroid glands will pull calcium out of your bones to try and get the blood calcium up to where it's supposed to be, so you don't get cramps and your heart stops and all that kind of stuff. And so that's what's going on there. She got osteoporosis, and she's paying a price here because she's not doing everything correctly. She didn't give a weight or anything?
She did not, no.
Okay, well, let's go by 100 pounds. Okay, get rid of all the bad stuff. No fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no gluten, no wheat, rye, and oats. And then want to, let's see here, take per 100 pounds of body weight, 1 healthy brain and heart pack per month, get an extra bottle of our Slim, so you can take 3 Slim twice a day, take a half of those. If she only weighs 110 pounds, be a half of those twice a day. If she weighs 200 pounds, you got to double what I'm saying here, because it's just for 100 pounds. Then she needs also the collagen peptides, a scoop of that with breakfast, a scoop of that with dinner, and the drinks. Needs vitamin D3, 3 of those twice a day. The MSM, 2 bottles a month, so you can take 3 times a day. Need to really build up the calcium level in the bones and in the blood. Okay, we don't want to go the other direction. And so the oxalate thing, that's a science called crapola. Have you ever heard of crapola?
I have.
Okay. I
Yeah,
remember your story. I remember your story. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So a lot of people, you know, they're trying to be nice and try to give information. They give out a lot of misinformation. And so oxalates have nothing to do with kidney stones. Okay. Because doctors didn't know what was going on. So they just said, oh, it's got to be oxalates. They just come up with something so they don't seem stupid. But when they come up with something stupid, it really makes them look stupid. Okay. And
Yeah.
so, so let's go there and let's have her call us every couple of weeks or so. Please do not submit to surgery because everything will come right without surgery.
All right, thank you so much, Dr. Wallach. And next, I have a chat message from Anita. And Anita has a grandson that's 10 years old. He weighs 70 pounds. And a few years ago, all of a sudden, he started having seizures, and they're at night. So I don't know if that makes a difference. But she would like to know what can be done for him. There's no history of any type of head injury.
Well,
What
again, this
you-
can be caused by osteoporosis of the skull squeezing the spinal cord. Osteoporosis of the skull squeezes the brain and it squeezes the spinal cord. So that's a possibility. Okay. You get a kid who's kind of a pre-teen kind of thing. They're growing rapidly, active, no supplements, and everything kind of falls apart. And they go to something like, oh my gosh. Okay. So,
Sleeping. I know when we're sleeping, we're putting different pressure on different nerves, especially like, I know my 10-year-old rolls around a lot.
yeah. So at any rate, 70 pounds, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. So none of the bad foods. They don't want him to have one healthy brain and heart pack per month. They have a dose of everything twice a day, except for the selenium. Get another bottle of selenium, so he can take 3 twice a day. He needs 1 bottle a month of the MSM, so he can take 3 at breakfast, 3 at dinner time. And then I want him to have 1 scoop of the collagen peptides at breakfast, 1 scoop of collagen peptides at dinner time, and a drink. And then the vitamin D3, 3 at breakfast, 3 at dinner time. Okay. And let's just go there.
With that, all right. Now, I know essential fatty acids are really important for the brain.
Yeah, they're in the pack.
Yeah, at the age of 10, should he take extra essential fatty acids, and what would be too much?
Well, he could get, when you get diarrhea, that's too much. Okay. But he could get an extra bottle, so he could take 3 twice a day. It wouldn't be too much. Okay. I weigh 142 and I take 3 twice a day. When I'm going to be going out or I'm going to give a lecture or something, I'll do 3 times a day at 142 pounds.
Perfect. Next, let's go to Jenny, who has a question, Dr. Wallach. She says that when she lays down, she gets dizzy, and she started paying attention about how her neck and head were when she gets dizzy. Because when she turns her head certain directions, it causes the dizziness. That's
well, what would you
one
think's
part.
happening here?
Well, she's got osteoporosis of the skull.
You get an A+.
I know it too well. So with osteoporosis of the skull, Dr. Wallach, you have given that protocol so many times, and that includes a healthy body, brain, and heart pack. And this is per 100 pounds. The MSM Ultra, 3 twice a day. The glucogel is my favorite, Dr. Wallach, and 5 3 times a day. Or we have the liquid.
And we have the collagen peptides. Yeah.
Yes. And collagen peptides, we have the joint health, which I still take, one, because it tastes so good. And 2, it has hyaluronic acid in it, which is good for the cartilage within the joints to help keep them strong as we do get older, Dr. Wallach. But I love the fact that when we give our bodies what it needs, we don't have to feel that old. Not at all.
Isn't that amazing? Your body,
It is
your body
amazing.
keeps you getting younger and younger and younger and younger. See, you
Yep.
look like you're 30 years old.
Well, thank you so much. My 10-year-old keeps saying, Mom, I can't believe you're 50. I can't believe you're 50. How are you 50? I said, well, son, you have a brother that's 33, so I don't want to look like I'm 30. But anyways, there's another part to Jenny's question, Dr. Wallach, and it has to do with ringworm. She got her son, I believe it was a guinea pig at Christmas time, and she has gotten ringworm. So she wants to know what she can do with the ringworm, but she also has an infected cuticle that she's been having a hard time getting rid of.
Okay, well, ringworm is not a ring. It's not a worm. Okay, it's actually a fungus.
Okay.
Okay, it's an infection with a fungus.
Okay, so she's got a fungus going on that looks like ringworm, and then she's got the infection in the cuticle.
Well, they call that infection. It doesn't look like a ringworm. They call it ringworm because 100 years ago they didn't have microscopes and they couldn't do scrapings and see whether there was a worm there or not. But it was a round patch of red stuff, and so they just said, "Oh, it's a ringworm." You know, what do they know?
So what would we add to her protocol, Dr. Wallach, for ringworm fungus?
Okay, hair, skin, and nails, hand sanitizer, and the let's see here, something we call colloidal silver. Yeah, let's throw in some colloidal silver.
How about killer biotic too?
Well, killer biotic's good. Absolutely.
I know people that have had valley fever, and we get them on the killer biotic, and that helps a lot with that. So,
valley fever is a parasite.
You know, there's so many things that the medical community just, they either don't know or don't want to admit, because you just bring so much knowledge, Dr. Wallach. And I appreciate that you've been doing this for over 70 years, sharing information and knowledge with people. It's just absolutely fabulous. So don't stop.
Oh, you're going to put up with me for another 600 years.
Oh my goodness, 600. Let's
see,
go for it.
If you read the Old Testament, the ones who are doing the greatest work for the good Lord, they lived to be 600, 700. Methuselah lived to be 600 and, no, it was 967.
I thought it was 900 something.
Yeah, 969. No, it was 969 he lived.
That's a long time.
Well, why should he have all the fun? Why can't we get there?
That's right. Well, and part of that fun, Dr. Wallach, is coming together like we are today virtually, which I'm so thankful that we're able to do. But as things start changing, where we're able to feel more comfortable gathering, we have some amazing things coming up. So that are actual events, Dr. Wallach. I love getting together with people, sharing information about people that are part of our crusade. You know, Pharmacist Ben, if you're in the Phoenix area, has a gathering that is getting together for April 9th and 10th. So if you're in the Phoenix area, make sure that you get with your longevity representative and get information in regards to that. We've got something coming up in Oklahoma City. I mean, they're coming around all the time. We just want to make sure that if you're interested in coming to one of our live events, that you get connected with somebody and ask questions about it. I love sharing your information, Dr. Wallach, belly to belly. I mean, here we can do it, we can record it, we can show it around the world and not leave anybody out. But that human touch really does make a difference.
Well, guess what? we're kind of looking at that now. We're going to start thinking about that by summertime. And so we're going to start, going live again. We have to keep going. We can't let a little virus put us down.
You can't keep a good man down, and Dr. Wallach, you're one of the best. So
Well, we're very sweet.
let's keep it going. So the next question, Dr. Wallach, has to do with kidney failure.
Oh, my favorite.
Yep, one of your favorites. Rosa is 42 years old, so she's young. 42 years old. She was diagnosed with diabetes when she was 36. And she is on kidney dialysis. She's 122 pounds at 5'4".
Okay. All right. So this is very, very common, unfortunately. Okay. When people have problems with their arteries, they get plugged arteries in the heart, you get coronary artery disease. Everybody thinks, oh, I got coronary artery disease. No, you have artery disease. It's in every artery in the body, not just in the coronary arteries in the heart. You just get spectacular symptoms there from the heart, but it's in everything, including the kidneys. Now, when you get the blockages of the arteries in the kidneys, you get you get artery disease in your kidneys. The kidneys start doing weird things, and you get high blood pressures. Okay, they release a hormone called renin, which drives your blood pressure up, so you can drive more blood into the kidneys, so it can actually work better and do more filtering. And then the blood pressure goes up, and then they put you on dialysis. Okay. Well, here's where our Ultimate Daily Classic comes in again. Our favorite Ultimate Daily Classic with a purple label. Okay. And I guess it's kind of purpley green. Okay. Purpley green, I would call it. But at any rate, it's one of those things where, let's see here. We got to wait till she's 122?
Mhm.
Yeah, 122. Okay. And she's 122, diabetes, kidney failure, dialysis. Okay. And does she have high blood pressure?
She
She
does.
got to have high blood pressure. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So here we go. No fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no gluten, no wheat, bran, no sugar, no carbonated drinks. Either that one's got to go. And then at 122 pounds, because she's got dialysis and all this other stuff going on, I want her to have 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month, a full dose of everything twice a day. I want her to have 2 bottles a month of our MSM, so you can take 3 with each meal. That's going to support and promote maintenance repair, cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, including in the arteries and so forth, and in the kidneys. And then I want her to have the collagen peptides, a scoop of that at breakfast and dinner time. And then the secret sauce here for the high blood pressure and the kidney dialysis is the Ultimate Daily Classic tablets. Take 3 times a day. That'll be 3 bottles a month. Don't cold turkey off the high blood pressure medication, but as the blood pressure drops, she can slowly reduce the medication. And because she also has diabetes, which is not uncommon that they all go together, need to take 2 bottles a month of our sweeties. So you can take 3 of those sweeties at breakfast, 3 at dinner time. But again, don't cold turkey off the medication, but as the blood sugar drops, you can slowly reduce the medication. Usually in 2 to 6 weeks, they're off their diabetes medication, they're off their high blood pressure medication. And I've had people that hadn't urinated in 10 years. They were on dialysis 25 years. The last 10 years, they hadn't urinated, so they're on dialysis 6 days a week. We put them on this program, and in 2 weeks' time, they're urinating, so they dropped the dialysis down to 3 days a week, and then 2 more weeks, they were totally off of dialysis after 25 years of being on dialysis and 10 years not urinating. Okay, so we do this literally thousands of times a month all over the world because it's a very common problem. Doctors miss it by 1,000 miles. I don't know if that is a purposeful thing they do or they're just ignorant. One or the other or both. Okay.
Well, another thing that I wonder about, Dr. Wallach, with these individuals that are on kidney dialysis, they're told to not drink more than 30 ounces of fluids per day.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I know everything that I have been taught through my education and nutrition. We need half our body weight in ounces to stay hydrated because our blood, it depends on that hydration. What happens when you cut back that severely on hydration, Dr.
Well,
Wallach.
you get dehydrated and everything stops working. And then you need emergency surgery. Huh. And then you find out that the doctor's brother-in-law is an emergency room surgeon.
Well, it blows me away. And I could not survive on 30 ounces of fluid. Absolutely not. I wonder why people feel so horrible all the time.
Yeah. But see, dialysis is easy to deal with because it's related to the health of the arteries and the kidneys. It's not some mysterious disease. And so that's what we actually invented the Ultimate Daily Classic tablets for. Okay, it was high blood pressure and dialysis.
We appreciate that very much. Denise just messaged in, and she's 65-year-old female, 5 foot 6.5 inches, 167 pounds. She has type 1 diabetes, a couple of cardiac stents, ringing in her ears, sciatic problems. She says there's a few more, but she'll stop there. And she has been vegan and WFPB, I'm not sure what that is, for the last 15 plus years.
Okay, I don't know what WSTB is either myself.
Yeah,
Okay.
WF, so I'm not sure what that is, PB.
Okay. Any rate, now the type 1, I'm very interested in that. Was she diagnosed with that at birth or when she was 50 years old? If she was,
that's a really good question.
Because type 1 diabetes is a birth defect. They're born with it. But doctors will diagnose people with type 1 diabetes when they're 60 years old and they get diagnosed with diabetes and they put them on, let's see here, they put them on methotrexate, which is an oral diabetes medication. They cannot absorb it because they got gluten problems. And they come back in, their blood sugar is worse because they were on medication. They thought they could eat everything they wanted to and their blood sugar is off the roof. Okay, you got type 1 diabetes. That's why it's not working. No, it's not working because they got a gluten problem. They're not absorbing the methotrexate. Okay, so I need to know whether it's a birth defect, baby was born with it, or was diagnosed, 30, 40, 50, 60 years of age. Because if it's diagnosed as 30, 40, 50, 60 years of age, the doctor made a misdiagnosis because of his medication approach and so forth, okay? The tinnitus, ringing in the ears, that's due to osteoporosis of the skull. And so, again, none of the bad foods, no fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no gluten, no wheat, bread, rhinos, no sugar, no carbonated drinks. Then 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month, a full dose, everything twice a day. The MSM, 3 of those, 3 times a day, that's 2 bottles a month. Needs the collagen peptides, a scoop of that with breakfast, scoop of that with dinner time. The Ultimate Daily Classic tablets, 3 times a day, at 3 at breakfast, 3 at lunch, 3 at dinner time. And let's see here, vitamin D3, 3 of those twice a day, that's 2 bottles a month. And let's see if we can't deal with the tinnitus, maybe one of the first things to go away. And if it's really type 2 diabetes, which they misdiagnose as type 1, usually within 4 to 6 weeks, it'll totally go away.
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Wallach. Denise, I hope you took good notes. And for anybody that is on with us that asked their question and you missed something that Dr. Wallach might have said, or you're on the replay, there is a replay. It is coming out. Jaunty is absolutely fabulous at getting these replays posted, and you can find them at criticalhealthnews.com. Now, on behalf of myself and my co-hosts, we are so excited that we are able to bring this information to you every single Friday on Ask Doc Live. The program, if you would like more information about it, you can go to the AskDocLive.com, get signed up there so that you receive your own personal invitation to AskDocLive.com. Everybody, have a fabulous day. Jaunty, Nasima, Ruth Ellen, Dr. Wallach, love you.
Love you. Bye-bye, everybody.
Have a wonderful, wonderful March, and we'll see you next Friday. And thank you, everybody, for jumping on and asking questions and sharing information.
Yeah,
Bye.
a lot of great questions today. God bless.
God bless.